Hi, it's good to be here this morning. Today I have Suzi with me, and Suzi, I took you through the process, the LifePlan process last February, and I just want you to share a little bit about what was going on in your world, what prompted you to decide to go through the process, what questions you were asking yourself, those type of things, Suzi.
Well, so I am in sales, and my sales world had kind of turned upside down. And I was really wondering, was I in the right place? Was I doing the right thing? I had always loved it, but should I be changing? Should I be going into something a little bit more maybe traditional in the workforce? Was I wasting my life? Maybe you could say I was having a midlife crisis, trying to figure out what's it all about, and when all is said and done, did I say and do the right things with my life? So I came in with lots and lots of questions about who I was and what I was supposed to be doing.
As you're aware of the 2 days, probably 2/3 is perspective. It's looking back at what God has done in you, what God has done through you, your gifts, your abilities. What did you learn about yourself going through this process?
A lot. I learned a lot. I think if I could just draw an analogy.
Please.
I remember distinctly, this has happened more than once, but there was a day that I was in the kitchen trying to use a handheld can opener as a hammer. And my husband came in and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm going to hang a picture." He said, "With a can opener?" I said, "Well, I don't have a hammer." And he kind of rolls his eyes, gets a hammer, puts the nail in, and we hang the picture. And that is exactly what this process was like for me. I think it helped me realize how God designed me and what my best use of my God-given gifts and God-given design and all of that should be. And I think since I have gone through that, I have been more at peace and more effective, and so to speak, have not been trying to hang pictures with a can opener. I have actually been doing the things that God designed me to do, and stopped wondering if I should be doing things that other people are doing because He didn't design me to be like them. And so I have been able to celebrate what God did and work with that. And I've been happier, a lot happier.
So an aspect of peace and contentment.
Yeah.
Just an understanding.
And energized. I mean, I think, understanding enough to say, oh, so the right thing to do with a can opener is open cans. Okay, so that's what I do. And then I started to do it, and I did it well because that's the way God designed me. And I found it to be life-changing. It changed my marriage, and I didn't even come in to change my marriage. So I think because I was maybe, like you say, happier, more at peace, but also more energized and more effective, everything just went better.
And we look at five areas. We look at your personal life, your family, and you mentioned it helped your relationship with your husband. Vocationally, and you've been in the Mary Kay world for a
22 years.
22 years. What impact has this had on your Mary Kay world?
Contagious enthusiasm, really. When you're in sales, that's one of the important thing. So what happened was, instead of feeling like I had to do something, I started to feel like I got to do something because I was doing it according to the way I was put together. So I became, I think, contagiously enthusiastic about helping people, working with people, teaching people, and they responded beautifully, both as consultants that I have the privilege of shepherding and also as customers that would come to me for advice. And so as far as my income went, it helped a lot for that reason too.
Well, good. We wrote your mission statement in the process, and your mission statement is, "I exist to be an ambassador of Jesus, exhorting others to live with vibrant excellence through caring, coaching, and creating Do you feel that sums you up very well?
I still do, and I still go back to it. So when I start to get distracted, I go, wait. Go back to that, and it's kind of like plugging in the electrical cord again. It's like, oh yeah, that's who I am. And it pushes away all the extras. It gets rid of all the dross and the stuff that's dragging me down and reminds me of who I am and who I'm not. So I love my mission statement a lot.
Yeah, and I feel it sums you up very, very well. I found with mine, it's not a document. It's not a one and done type of thing. I did mine 2 years ago now and have revised it. I formally revised mine a couple times now, and I know everyone doesn't sit down and formally revise it, but how have you used yours since last February? Is it just sat in a binder on your shelf, or how have you used it since then?
Well, I immediately shared it with the important people in my world so that I could communicate with them what I learned. And then it sat for a while, and then I would get you would contact me and you would say, hey, let's make sure we're still on track. I think follow up with you is probably one of the second most powerful things. To watch my life in front of me on those large pieces of paper that we did when we spent those 2 days was extremely impactful. But then to get that succinct notebook is great. But unless someone like you comes and with your personality, you don't like beat me up and ask me, are you still doing your goals? Are you still connecting with your important people and those kinds of things? But you encourage, helpful, proactive accountability. And that's a link that's been missing in a lot of other things I've done. So the fact that you circle around and come back was very beneficial to me. And just to go back and revisit that statement, and is that still what you want, and are these still your core people, and are these still your activities, and just revisiting it has really kept me on track. I can't say I've done it on a daily basis, but I probably have done it on a quarterly basis, and it really has helped.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
We're looking ahead to 2016. What are you excited about looking forward?
Well, my life is very different now. My life really went on hold the last 4 or 5 months of my life as I cared for my father before he died. Mm-hmm. And that's where that ambassador and caring, and my dad wasn't creating anything. I was creating a delightful place for him to end his life. And I was caring for him in ways he needed to be cared for, and was definitely practicing being an ambassador of love and grace. But those physical needs are gone now. He has passed away. And so now I see myself really revisiting this and spending time in prayer and saying, okay, God, now what? And I can't tell you. I don't know. I'm not sure where he's going to take me. I don't know what he's going to have me do. I don't know where. In fact, in today's prayer journal, I said, okay, that's basically what I said. Now what, God? Now where do I go? Where do you want me? But I can tell you that, it's still my heart's desire to be an ambassador and to build up his people so that they are effective for him.
And to be who God's made you to be, to use the gifts that God has given you and the passions. Mm-hmm. That's cool. What advice would you give to people? I know you work with a lot of Mary Kay gals. I'll be gracious and say you're midlife.
Thank you. It's very true. I came in because I think I was having a midlife crisis, past midlife. So,
what advice would you give to people considering, why should they spend 2 days going through this process?
2 days sounded long at the beginning and felt short at the end. So, here's a couple of things that I think I have realized. First of all, habits die hard. And so even as I look at the things that I said I was going to do and when I was going to have it done by, and oh my goodness, I'm not done with that, but it's still something I want to do and all of that. Good habits die hard, which is a good thing. Bad habits die hard, which is a bad thing. And so if you are young, do this before you have too many bad habits, because they die hard. And create really good habits really soon in your world so that those good habits empower you for a long time. If you are like me and you are past midlife or thereabouts, going up to the golden years, do it before you look back and say, I wish I would have, or what did I do in this world? I am thrilled to truly believe that I won't at the end of my life say, did I waste my life? Because I lived on purpose. And this was a huge tool that helped me live on purpose according to God's design. So I wasn't trying to spend my life hammering things in with a can opener. I did what I was designed to do and felt empowered and free to do it. So really, if you're young, do it. If you're old, do it. And 2 days, yep, feels like, what am I going to do? How do I do this? Just figure it out. Do it. It's worth the time. And you are a very gentle but very strong and impactful coach. And I really appreciate the influence you've had.
Well, thanks. And hey, I appreciate your time this morning. I know you're busy. There's all sorts of things you could have done with me for a 10-minute interview, but I do appreciate. I had a blast going through the process with you. And if any of you listening to this have questions about the process, you can get in touch with me. There's information at the website. The LifePlan changed me. It changed my life. It's changed Suzi's life, and it can change your life as well. Thanks.